My name's Sophia Abdinur. I'm a politician. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 3. And I have adopted more than 100 children. I'm a mentor. I'm a human rights defender. I'm a social activist. I sensitize the community largely on issues to do with women empowerment, girl-child education, so that the community can appreciate and accept a woman to be a woman and a girl to be a girl. My story is a story of many women, not only in the Somali community, but in the entire world. I'm a firstborn of a family of 22. And the primary school I went to was a place where there were no constructions. We were learning under trees. At the age of 5 or 6 years old is when I met with a woman who was to circumcise me. In the morning, I could see many movement, not the usual movement. The women came together, we were called, we were playing around. So we were told today it's going to be a special day for you girls. So we were very happy, thinking that today there is something special that is taking place. We were not told there would be circumcision taking place. I was the 4th in the line. When I had any girl taken to the room was crying, I was panicking already. So when I went to the hut, I was taken by 2 women. The other 2 women were seated there, plus the circumciser herself. They hold me. So when they hold me, they did what they could do. Then I was taken out to, there was a line where we could sit on top of cartons. One woman was saying there's a lot of blood coming from these girls. The circumcisers were saying, no, that's normal, leave them. It's okay. So once they were through, already one lady was just too weak, very weak. And the rest of us, they had to go and do some herbs. Then they started, plastering the herbs on our wound to stop the bleeding. So after that, the lady died. We could hear people crying. We didn't even know the meaning of death then. People crying, the mother of the girl crying. We had a lot of things. We were in a, with the pain, with the cry, with all these things. It was something that I could not comprehend.
dhiiggaas hadduu uu baxo maxay ahayd xildiida qofkii la laqsiini neefa loo soo qabanayo oo xaraarsin looga dhigi dhiiggaas uu cabbi dhiigga uu iska joogsani ilaahayna waan aaminsaneen wax dhib uu arkay maba jirinba biyaa loo kululayni waa loo qabayni baana dhowla loo soo gaday wuu iska laqi neefko orgigo loo gowrici dhiiggaas fuudkaas uu isku cabbi qofkii waa iska caafimaaday.
When I was around the age of 11, I was taken to a boarding school because that is the only place where we could get some structures and some teachers. From there, I completed my class 7. I was taken to a secondary school and finished my Form 4. I went to the Teachers Training College. I finished, I came back to the community. Then from there, this is when I came with face to face with reality check now. When we went out to the pastoralist community, I found the way they were living, the hardship they were going through, and all the problem that women were facing. Fetching for water, looking for firewood, building houses, delivering under very difficult circumstances, female genital mutilation being practiced in a big way. And this is the time now I reflected back. I came back to my mother, asked her, what happened. And my mom narrated all the story that happened when I went through female genital mutilation. Now I said this would be my pet subject because I was about, it is only God who gave me this opportunity to live. I went round to my friends, the ladies who are educated in Garissa, and I told them, well, we have some work to do. Can we sit together? Can we even start an organization, or can we form a group that we can go around talking to the people on this? Because people are dying and we are looking at it as ladies. And if we do not talk, we will not have any other person to come and talk on our behalf. And the people who are suffering are the women and the girls. They accepted, we came together, we formed a women's group. Now that is 1989, called Idil Women Group. Idil means complete. We chose the name because we said complete. A woman must be complete the way God has created her. So we went out. Then people ask us, what is complete woman? A woman who has not gone through female genital mutilation is a complete woman. Once you mutilate her, she's not a complete woman. The traditional governance systems, the structures, now had to sit down and say, these women have a problem. We were all coming from different clans, so they were told to go and talk to anybody who is coming from your clan and tell them not to talk about female genital mutilation. So some of our group members dropped out along the way.
That meant going back to the drawing board. They were now a group of 35 women. They realized there was something in the name Idul that irritated people, and so the people failed to understand the message on how a woman who did not go through the cat would be considered as complete. Culture and the cultural practice took over and weighed heavy on them. This meant they had to change tact and not give up. The way out was to form a welfare group, which they named Umuher, or Womankind. Now, Womankind is the mother of kindness.
Once we started the organization, we sat down and developed a program of how to work with the doctors, how to work with the women, circumcisers, how to work with the sheikhs, and we started with the doctors. We sat down and we felt we needed the doctors to talk about the complication, because they have seen many women who have gone through their hands. They have seen many young girls who have gone through their hands. So the first meeting we organized for the religious leaders. So we called the religious leaders, about 50 of them, and we called the doctors to come and talk to the religious leaders and tell them the problems they have encountered with the women, that men are not privileged too.
From 1989 to 1995, they took on to their normal lives but kept the spirit of eradicating female genital cut active. Life went on, and some, including Sophia, were given into marriage. Then, the old horror and shocking effects of female genital mutilation came knocking when Sophia went to give birth to her firstborn. That memory is still vivid in her mind. The pain and horror that she went through, and the pain and complications that she saw many women of her Somali ethnic community going through, and the numerous deaths of women during childbirth in the villages and hospitals, convinced her even the more that female genital mutilations, FGM, must be eradicated at all cost.
The horror is a real thing. I do experience it to date. And you see, here is the Garissa General Hospital, is where I gave birth to my first child. And I went through a prolonged labor. I was brought to the hospital on a Wednesday in a labor pains. On Thursday, Friday, Saturday is when a doctor, a Ugandan doctor, came, and he now took me to the theater, and he said he could not do cesarean operation because the child already he went to the canal. So he used a vacuum machine to remove the child. So he cut me on several places, and they used the machine to push the child out. After that, I became very weak. I could not move for about 3 or 4 months because of the wounds. I could not even hold my baby. It was my mom who could always sit with my child. I could only give the breast milk while even lying on the bed. So it was very, very painful for me.
We have type 1, type 2, type 3. And the more severe the FGM, the more severe the complication. So you'll find some young girls having gone type 3 of FGM, which we call infibulation. So when they start getting their menstruation, they have problems. The hymenal opening has been completely sealed, so we have to take them back to theater to do surgery, what we call de-infibulation. And like normal women, the rates of cesarean delivery are higher in women who've undergone FGM. Then the other aspect that comes is the assisted vaginal delivery, because you need things like forceps, vacuum, and all to say at the end, the complication will arise, not only maternal, but also fetal complication. So as a result of that, you get an abnormal communication or passage between the vagina and the bladder, or between the vagina and the rectum. This means they can't control their urine passage, they can't control their stool passage, and then urine and stool will be coming out through the vagina.
There was some ray of hope at last, as she finally succeeded in engaging doctors and a few religious leaders to pass the message that the FGM was harmful to girls and women. But convincing the circumcisers to stop has been her biggest headache, as majority of them remain stiff and rigid.
gudmada de waa la wada oo yaa la gudina la leeyahay laakiin anak dhaqankayna hore nooga fiican oo aad nidaam u qabi dhaqankayna hore aad nidaam u qabi oo aan aad uga aaminsaneyn anak joojiya hadii la dhahay dawaan joojin lahaynay anake ka barwaan ku qaadanayni waa noola yeeranay xoolo noola nugula siinay baadiye markaan fadhina subagaan qaadanayni lacagtaan qaadanayni waa nugula xushmadeynay waa nugula qadirinay markay joojiya naleeyihiin dad intuu noo imaaday wax na siiyo na qancinayna ma oo
FGM practice goes against the child rights in Islam because God has forbidden any harm which is caused to any helpless person like a child. That's why when we are talking about the harms of FGM, we refer to many Islamic quotations from the Quran and from the traditions of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that a child should not be harmed at any time because it cannot speak for itself and it cannot help itself. It is ungodly.
There are 15 mosques out of hundreds of mosques in Garissa who came on board and who told us they can even carry that message during Friday prayers. So it was so helpful that we designed a program every Friday. Those 15 mosques could talk on a message on female genital mutilation. And in the evening when they finish, they could go to the village.
Not every cleric agreed with the Umuher welfare group, and not every woman accepted her message. But her advocacy against FGM was gaining pace, though in a slow manner. The welfare had their work cut out. Womankind, or Umuher, was finally registered in Kenya in 1995. The following year, 1996, the welfare group enhanced their strategies by starting a girls' knowledge and rescue center, the Umuher Primary School. The major purpose being the empowerment, education and protection of girls, particularly the orphans and vulnerable girls.
Msichana akitahiriwa anaweza kupata shida nyingi kama kutokwa na damu nyingi, au mama wanatumia wembe ama visu ambao wametumia kwa wakati wasichana wengine, na hizo zinaweza kuleta ugonjwa hatari kama ukimwi na ugonjwa zingine. Msichana pia anaweza kutokwa na damu nyingi, na sisi kutatahiriwa kwetu kuna faida nyingi, kwa sababu msichana asipotahiriwa kuzaa kwake kutakuwa rahisi, damu ya mwezi pia itakuwa rahisi kutoka, lakini msichana akitahiriwa kukojoa itakuwa shida, na pia damu ya mwezi kutoka itakuwa shida, na pia wakati wa kuzaa atapata na shida nyingi.
More than 5,000 girls have gone through the institution. But besides that, if you combine with the other girls that we have reached outside the institution, then there are many girls within Garissa town that we were able to reach during this period.
Young innocent girls are losing their lives unnecessarily. Girls who could become good leaders, girls who could become good mothers. Every now and then, they are subjected to the cut, attended by unqualified personnel, dirty and hygienic. They bleed to death, they die young. Others remain men for lives just because they were cut. They need freedom, they need to be free. They want to live full lives, enjoying the pleasure of child rights. Wipe away their tears, wipe away their fears.
The girls we have here in this center is 670. The school is in two phases. There are those that we keep them here, that we provide for them everything, plus even clothing. And there are those that they come here, study, and they go back in the evening. Those that sleep here and we cater for their everything, because maybe they are orphans, because maybe where we brought from, they are not in peace. They're being disturbed every now and then, that you are not circumcised and all this. So those that we felt that they need to be under our protection, we protect them here, and even we provide everything for them. And I hope in the next 10 or 20 years, these girls will grow up, and then the message will have multiplying effect in the near future.
Female genital mutilation. They know that female genital mutilation is not religious. They understand that, because we talk to them, we bring experts, we bring sheikhs who talk to them, we bring mothers who talk to them, we bring girls from other places who have not gone through FGM, so that they can tell them what it means. We give them all the education that they require, both the formal education and the informal education, so that they grow up appreciating themselves. And the other thing that we do is we go when they finish the primary school from our school, we take them to schools in Embu, we take them schools to Meru and those places where they are not known, so that they do not feel that there is a problem. When they go to schools that are near here, they get, people tell them, you people who are not circumcised, you are not clean. So we have a lot of challenge we are facing as an organization, particularly with our girls.
Umuher, or womankind, has been at the center of several successful young women from the Somali community of northern Kenya. The area is remote, vast, and majorly poor. The community practices pastoralism as a way of living. Most women are not educated, and early girl-child marriage is a norm here.
I'm Kaltum Abdurrahman. I'm 26 years old. I'm a graduate from the University of Nairobi. I'm currently working with Womankind Kenya. I'm one of the beneficiaries of Al Khair Girls. That's a project founded by Womankind. I came here in 1996 while I was 6 years old. After I witnessed my friends who were going to the same docu before I came to Al Khair Girls Rescue. That's where I see most of the girls suffering, some even bleeding, others dropping school because of that. So I just had the fear of undergoing FGM. But God helped me, and Womankind rescued me from FGM. I have been staying in this center since 1996 up to when I finished university. So it's my pleasure working with Womankind and helping the other girls who never got the other opportunity like me. We were schooling with other girls who underwent the same. So they were considering us, the girls from the center, as an outcast. These are the uncircumcised lot. These are the outcasts of the community. So there was a lot of criticism. But for us, we didn't bother because we knew we are safer than them. So, but in my marriage life, I don't have any problem because my husband appreciates the way I am.
Culture is a main challenge, simply because remember, this is a community that used to undermine both girl child and women. And if you go out there and propagate the right of children, especially the girl child, the right of women empowerment, the eradication of FGM, you'll find a lot of discouragement.
If woman is not circumcised through that way of FGM, she is not truly full woman in the sight of society or to the eyes of society. You see? So now she's liable for not getting married even because she's not a qualified woman. At the same time, she's not clean. So no way that she can be married.
As an activist, as an learned person, I'm against FGM. We normally conduct trainings for the youth and the school-going children, also the girls. We also educate the elders and the mamas, the old mothers who normally do the cut. So that's what we do. We normally go visit schools, rural areas, community centers, where normally these FGM activities are taking place.
They have appreciated what we are doing, and they are supporting us in our fight against female genital mutilation. And those young men are doing a lot with us. So we are trying to recruit as much to the program and to this project.
gudmada waan gudaayay intay 30 sano waan daayay bacdi hadda 6 sano aan iska daayay waxaan u daayay walaadaha diinta haasteen ay iga reebeen laakiin ani faa'iidaan ka joogo oo lacag badan aan helaa ilmahay waan ku korsanay aaba ma qabin diinta asaas ma wareeftay diintan ku daayay diinta yaan ku daayay
wazee tunashauriana na tunaungana mkono wasichana wasipewe dohara. Dohara imeturudisha nyuma miaka mingi, na sasa tumesema wasimamishe hii mambo ya dohara. Anayefanyiwa hana hatia, anayefanya tumesema watashtakiwa kisheria.
Then when they're sleeping is when early in the morning when the girls are taken away from the village and they're taken to outside the village where they make for them a makeshift and they do the circumcision out there. So it is not like any other community where you do this because of a ritual for, passage to other age groups. This is something that is done when you are a tender child. It is something done very secretly. Thousands and thousands of girls and women lose their life through female genital mutilation every other day.
Request Sophia Abdi to second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
When I went to the National Assembly, I had a dream, and my dream did not ever stop for empowering a woman and the girl child. We sat as the Kenya women parliamentarians. So we organized ourselves, we formed the team, and we had JB Kilimo as the chair and myself as the vice chair. So once we drafted the female genital mutilation bill, we went out to look for supporters who could support us, now partners. We went to UNFPA and we went to UNICEF, and we told them we have this bill, but we want your support. Bring the men and bring a resource persons who could educate them on the effects of female genital mutilation. When I took to the floor of the house. Everything came from inside. You know, I immediately felt the pain that I was feeling throughout my life, and I felt this was the right opportunity for me to express all my emotion from the heart. And I broke down when I was explaining. Lucky enough, when I did that, the men even who wanted to oppose, who were seated in the house, said we will support this. And immediately they said the movers should be called and we approve this. And that is how the bill was approved. I'm happy that today we have a law that is against female genital mutilation. I'm excited about the whole thing. But remember, this is a deep-rooted culture. And legislation or without legislation, it is still continuing. That is the sad part of it. Then implementation of the law is a challenge. This is a law which was enacted in 2010. To date, the law enforcers do not know about the law. The chiefs do not know about the law. There are many people, even in Nairobi, if you ask them that law, they do not know. UNFPA, UNICEF have a responsibility. Womankind have a responsibility of doing a big civic education in this country, educating the whole mass, talking about this. Engage with the police people, engage with the chiefs, talk to the women, tell them there is a law.
Legal frameworks that are key to abandonment of FGM are really key for governments. And what we try and do is ensure that governments understand the situation and what exactly are the impacts and the implications, not only for development, but for the human rights of their citizens. And so this is where we use and work with partners like the parliamentarian groups in governments to really understand the situation. We expose them to platforms with public so that that public discourse can happen and that they can therefore take the right sorts of legal frameworks that allows us to then develop programmatic policies that can help us move forward. And then we hope that through their voices, and again, like Honorable Sophia Abdi, her ability to really work within her systems of legal systems to move this forward. So the ownership must really be with the country.
The girls that we were dealing with were from only one division from Garissa County, all the whole region. This is a drop in the ocean, the number I'm giving you, compared to the girls whom we were not able to reach to. My vision is in 20 or 30 years to come is to see a society free from female genital mutilation. A society where a woman is a woman and a girl is a girl, and we have a full woman.